Welcome to the Hollis Chapman Show, where we celebrate the power of words and the beauty of storytelling. Join us every week. We have conversations with authors and small business owners. We have exciting lineup of guests who will take us on a literary journey like no other. Join us as we delve into the world of authors and small business owners from diverse backgrounds and cultures, each bringing their own unique perspective and voice to the table. From thrilling memoirs to captivating fiction and business startups, our guests will share their stories, their struggles, and their triumphs, offering us a glimpse into the rich tapestry of human experience. Immerse yourself in the magic of words and discovery as we explore the global literary landscape together. So grab a cup of tea, cozy up by the fire, and join us on this adventure of a lifetime. The Hollis Chapman Show is your ticket to a world of imagination, inspiration, and enlightenment. Don't miss out on the opportunity to connect with some of the most talented and compelling voices in literature today. Tune in and let the journey begin.
Are you suffering?
Hello and welcome to the Hollis Chapman Show. I'm Hollis. Happy 4th of July, everyone. All right. It's really neat to have 4th of July on a Friday. There's going to be some crazy stuff going on for the weekend. But be safe. Be good, be safe. Okay? So happy Friday. Happy 4th of July. Be safe. Enjoy. We'll get through this. It'll be great. Okay? And it means a lot of fireworks going on out here in Arizona. And because it's so hot, I'm not going to any of them. I can just watch them on YouTube or something. All right? So I'm not going to be out there. But, there's got some places where it could be a bit crowded, grilling and cooking and stuff like that. So it's going to be good. But be safe out there. It's a Friday. People can just take the day off, spend some time with family and friends. How cool is that on a Friday, right? A lot of people are already gone. From here, everybody goes up north, which is a little cooler. Okay, so I hope our special guest calls in. Let me give you some talking points that, I'm just trying to make sure he calls in before we get started. But he left home at 15 to join the British Army. Imagine that. 15. I don't know how, I don't know what the enlistment is, but 15. As a parent, I would say, no, this is not, I would have called them and said, my kid's only 15. I don't want him in. And it's an infantry too, so that's really right in the battle. So that's numbers right there. As a parent, I was like, oh, heck no. Okay. He experienced, and so he went in at 15. His career, he was in the military 40 years. Can't imagine. 40 years. So as a 15-year-old, your first major job, what kept him strong? Because the first 4 years, 5 years, it's a mentally tough thing. They go through that. Getting told what to do, you got to make sure you be up this time, make sure you got to be over here. And he handled that. He did well. He did well to the point where he got, switched over to an officer in the Army. Amazing. But I'm a veteran myself. I only did one tour, so it's not close to what he's done. But I've seen people who can't handle the instruction and get out. Or I've seen people just, when they do get out, just broken. He's been in battles, and he's just, he's written multiple books about the battles. So that's very impressive. One of the questions I was going to ask him is, how would he stay so strong? How is he so held together? A human being, been in battle, seeing other people die, maybe at your own hands. How is he so well put together now as a civilian? How did he do that? Because I've met a lot of broken former military. It's hard to get over that. PTSD and so many other things. I see so many homeless veterans just can't cope. How does he cope? How did he cope? How did he do that? To stay so strong, especially going in at 15. That blows my mind. And he was, again, he's a British Army. What was it like to be awarded medals of service by Queen Elizabeth II? That's pretty neat. right? For a guy who came from a home who's, poverty and stuff like that, and all of a sudden he's getting more medals from Queen Elizabeth II. Now, that's pretty good. That makes you puff up your chest, right? That makes you feel pretty good. One of the questions and one of the talking points we asked, what is the impression of war when he was in it and when he sees what's going on now in our world? What's the impression of that? I think it's a nice topic. I think it's going to be a great show. That's the reason I'm talking about it, because I don't really talk about politics or religion. But I think him writing a book, him being a veteran, stuff like that, would have been a nice thing. So hopefully he calls that. So, what does it feel like to confront the enemy in hand-to-hand combat face-to-face? Think about that, right? Especially if you're young. I don't know what age it was when you did that, but imagine being, you've been told by your superiors, this person is the enemy. You're going to meet them, you're going to do your business, and move on. So now you're face-to-face to this, quote, enemy, this person you never met, this person who's never done any harm to you. How do you respond? That was one of the questions. Face-to-face, hand-to-hand combat. Now he's fighting. Boom, boom. How did he do it? After he did it, after he gets back to his base, how did he feel? After you have a full day of fighting and going through and stuff like that, I think I was watching one of his videos, one of his other interviews, and he didn't sleep very much, and it's 3-4 hours a night. So imagine you don't. I mean, I don't sleep when I know I have a show the next day. I'm rolling around, tossing around, thinking about what to say. Imagine being in a hand-to-hand combat, fighting, doing this and that, and okay, now it's time to go to bed. I don't think you're going to sleep much. Don't think so. So that's one of the topics to talk about, okay? How he secretly admired the very enemy he had to kill. So, boom, and war. But at the end of the day, he kind of admired his enemies. So that would have been a talking point. How he started new life after leaving the military and losing his wife to kidney failure. That's sad. She's been through him for so much. It was a nice little program. I was watching one of his shows on video this morning. And he talked about his wife passing and stuff like that, and how broken he was when she passed. I can imagine. So again, I only see the military people over here in the United States. Some people just cannot handle the civilian life, especially if you put 40 years in the military. You're taking direction, you're giving direction. Some officers, it's hard for them to get out. You spend so long in the military of giving direction, being the top dog, and all of a sudden you're not really a top dog. Depends on what you do. I mean, you may get a nice corporate job. That works out real well. You still can give directions and be the boss. But as an enlisted, where you constantly being told what to do and whatever, what happens when you get out? How do you adapt? I know in our country they have a lot of programs. Okay, so there's a lot of I guess it's coming in. All right. Okay, hold on one second. Hold my thought, okay? Because our special guest is here.
I'm sorry.
Hello, David.
Hello, Hollis. I'm sorry about that. I was sitting there and it just kept saying to me, we'll notify you when it comes live. And I didn't trust it. So I started again and it worked.
No problem, sir. We just thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate that. And again, what I was doing is going over some of the talking points. So you got a great story. You got a great history and stuff like that. Let me do a little intro on you again, okay, so you can hear it. Our special guest, I'm going to mute your microphone. Hold on one second. Okay, so our special guest is here, so I'm very excited, okay? From the front lines to the front page. He's written multiple novels about his experience in the military. And again, one of my questions I was saying to you is how he is so put together so well after 40 years in the military. Once you've been 40 years in the military, you kind of used to the structure, used to certain things. Now, once you get out, now it's all on you. How do you deal with that? Okay, so lifelong military man for the British Army who received medals from Queen Elizabeth II, like I mentioned, for bravery throughout a successful 4-decade military